How long does it take a young man to build wealth? How long does it take a young man who's fresh out of college, fresh out of university, to put himself in a position whereby he can be considered as financially stable, for want of a better word, or even to the point where he's actually accrued some type of wealth of some sort? Some of you may have heard of the penny gambit, but if you haven't, I'm about to present you with this dilemma as follows, and that is, what would you rather choose? Me giving you £1 million upfront right now, today, or option B, I will give you a single penny, one penny, that doubles in value every day for 30 days. Which are you going to take? And for those of you who may be thinking, oh, this must be a trick question, I'm going to take the penny. You're right, it is a trick question. But if you haven't heard of the penny gambit before, your initial gut reaction, gut instinct was, I'm going to take the £1 million and bounce. What are you talking about? A penny that doubles in value for 30 days. Perfectly normal. But using this parable, I'm going to explain to you ladies in particular how wealth is built for the vast majority of people, with the exceptions of very few, meaning unless you stumble across a golden opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime, the Facebooks of the world, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world who had their Facebooks and became billionaires in their early 20s, those are golden geese. They basically don't exist. So with those exceptions to the side, I'm going to show you how long it really takes to accrue wealth. So the penny gambit goes as follows. I'm going to type 0.01 into my calculator here. Okay? We've got 1 penny in the calculator. And then I'm going to multiply it by 2. Then I'm going to press equals. And you can see on day 1, or on day 2, I should say, we have 2 pence. Okay? Let's go to 10. So that's 1. We've times that by 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By day 10, if you can see that, you have £10.24. After 10 years of hard graft of a man freshly coming out of university, most men will be at the £10.24 mark. For the ladies watching now, for the sisters watching now, not much. From 20 to 30, he's grafting, he's grinding, he's still going to be around that £10.24 mark. And what does that £10.24 mark represent? It represents progress, but nothing to shout about from the rooftops. Nothing to shout about. Depending on what career path he's gone down, maybe he's established himself a little bit now, maybe he's made a couple of raises, maybe he's a bit more experienced, a bit more desirable to the job market, whichever field that he's in. However, his value is still in and around that £10.24 mark, which is nothing to shout about. But from the ages of 30 to 40, what happens? Well, if he plays his cards right, and this is a very big if, you see, but if he's smart and he plays his cards right and he invests smartly and he uses his money wisely, let's have a look at what happens over the next 10 years. So you have £10.24, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's day 20 of the penny gambit. That 1 pence has now turned into £10,485.76. We're at the 20th day mark, but in this example, we are actually at the 20th year mark for a man. He has the equivalent of £10,485.76. That's obviously not the exact same sum that he will have in his account, but my point is, he's gone from 1 penny to that. Whatever that equivalent is, for his respective career path, for his respective job, whatever that equivalent is, that's the stage where he's at. Decent, respectable, but a far cry from the hundreds of thousands and millions and billions that so many of you ladies are looking for. It's respectable. It's amazing. We've gone from 1 penny to 10,000, but it's still nothing to shout about from the rooftops. And that's 20 years into his career. 20 years. He's 40 now. I want you to bear that in mind, because I'm going to come to something at the end of this. Now, watch the magic that happens over the next 10 days in this penny gambit example, or in this instance, over the next 10-year stretch of his life and his career between the ages of 40 to 50, if he plays his cards right. So, you can see there, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. By 25, look how drastically the numbers have gone up now. 335,544 and 32 pence in this penny gambit example. 26, 670,000. 27, 1,342,177. 28, 29, 30. By day 30, our single penny has compounded 30 times, and now we have 10,737,418 and 20 pence. Why am I sharing this with you? Why did I just run through that example with you? Because if a man, and it's a big if a man plays his cards right, the average man will make his first million. And when I say the average man, what I mean is, I should say, to be more specific, the average millionaire, which is a tiny group of people. If he's played his cards right over a period of 30 years, the average millionaire, which is a tiny fraction of the population to begin with, will make his first million at the age of 49. 49 is the age that he will finally make his first million. But then guess what? Between 49 and 59 is the equivalent of him being between 20 and 30 and beyond. You see how the numbers compound after that. After 30 days, we had 10 million pounds. 31 days, it will be 20 million. 32 days, it will be 40 million. 33 days, it will be 80 million, on and on and on. Warren Buffett, by the age of 45, he was worth 65 million pounds, or dollars, I should say. That's it. And when I say that's it, I mean that's obviously a lot of money, but that's a far cry from what he's worth now, $100 billion. At the halfway stage of his life, 45 years old, he's around 1991 now. At the halfway stage of his life, he was only worth $60 million, or 45 or 60 odd million dollars, something like that. Nothing, like a far cry from what he's worth now, $100 billion. The same I say to you is for the average man who plays his cards right, and most men don't play their cards right. Most men will never even have a million pounds in their bank account. Never. So why am I sharing with you, sisters? Because I want you to understand the realities of what it takes to become established as a man. And if you are looking to get married to a younger brother in particular, a brother in his 20s, have some leniency and rahmah on him. Have some mercy on him, because you don't know what it takes. I had a sister come on to the channel the other day, and she threw out a number out there. I want my husband to be earning 50 grand a year. And I said to her, do you know what the average income is for the average individual, man or woman, in the UK? Do you know what the average earned income is? She said no. I said to her, it's 28,500, there or thereabouts. That's the average income. Therefore, £50,000 represents double the average. Double the average. Now, to you ladies watching, thinking even £50,000 not a lot. Okay, fine. But I need you to understand a few things. Number one, you are a depreciating asset. Let me say that again for those of you who missed it at the back. You are a depreciating asset. What do I mean by that? What men value okay, when you're looking for a spouse, you are looking for character compatibility and so on. But what men value right up there with your character and your personality and so on, especially for the purpose of a long-term relationship, right up there is your youth, beauty, fertility, those things that are out of your control. Your youth, your beauty, fertility, your fertility. We want to have kids with you, and we want to make the most of your young age, because your youth is where you look the best. As soon as you get past your prime, which is around past 25, that's it. It's a downhill. It's downhill from there. So men want to enjoy you whilst you're in your prime, because your prime is very short-lived. After that, you are a depreciating asset. Now, thankfully for you, and just as AbuAmerican pointed out in one of the podcasts that we done together the other day, when a man marries a woman, when a brother marries a sister, she stays at that age in his eyes pretty much for the rest of their lives. And I can attest to that. When AbuAmerican said it, I was like, he's got a point now. I was married to a woman for 10 plus years and she didn't really look much different to me. After that 10-year period, she looked almost the same. Because the change happens so slowly on a daily basis, you hardly notice it. But nevertheless, you are aging. You are getting older. You are probably getting fatter. You are a depreciating asset from a perspective of what men value the most in a woman. Right up there with the other things that we value in terms of your character, your raha nafsiyya, the peace you bring to us, is your youth, beauty, fertility. And that declines and depreciates with age. However, what you value the most in us as men, after our character and our ability to take care of you and so on, is our ability to provide. And our ability to provide for you is an appreciating asset. As we get older, we earn more. A man becomes more established in his career. He experiences multiple raises. Perhaps he makes an investment that works out well for him, if he plays his cards right. And I do know of a number of families that come to my mind, in fact, that after 30 years of marriage, the woman left him. Why? Because the brother didn't play his cards right, lost all their money, 30 years worth of life savings on a poor investment, and she decided enough is enough, and she left. Fine. I get it. And gentlemen, I warn you, be careful. This can happen to you as well. This can happen to you as well. I'm sure there were other factors that led to their divorce, but that was the stick that broke the camel's back. Women are willing to give younger men a longer runway because they have a longer runway to make things happen. But when you're older, that leniency, that leeway goes out the window. Anyway, point is this. Bear in mind and remember, sisters, you might be in your prime right now. To you young sisters watching, because I know a number of you watch my channel. You might be in your prime right now. You might be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 right now. But that's leaving you. You are only getting older. And what you value the most in your husband to be will appreciate, whilst what he values right up there with your character and so on is a depreciating asset. Your character isn't, but your youth, beauty, fertility is. Remember that the next time you go out there and think that you're too good for fulan or fulan, you're probably not.